Hello, everyone. Welcome to the first episode of Pendragon, a brand new campaign of mine. And with me, I brought two friends. If you don't know who I am, I'm Eric. I'm your game master this time. We're playing Pendragon version 5.2. I'll talk about a little bit of the modifications when we get down to it, but just know I'm Eric Vulgaris everywhere. I'm super excited. I played in a Pendragon game that lasted about a year and a half, went pretty far. I think all of us have a little bit of a history with Pendragon. In fact, if you wanted to share that, y'all, when I introduce y'all, that'd be great. But I think we're all super ride or die fans for R.I.P. Greg Stafford, and we love this game, and we're excited to give it some of our own little flair. So, Colin.
Hi, I'm Colin Volcanet. I am one half of the Phantom Roll Booth. My pronouns are he, him. You can find me on Twitter at ColinetLikeIC. On Thursdays, I'm over on Unmade Gaming, running some barroom for Mike. And very soon, you'll be able to purchase my first publication. It is volume 3 of Eat the Rich Anthology. I wrote an adventure that's going to be in there. So keep an eye out for that. Should be cool. I'll toss it over to, I think, a newcomer to streaming and RPGs. This is probably first time I think they've been on camera.
What's
Jim.
The D20? Is that how it's called? All right.
Yes.
Yeah. It's on my shirt. Anyway, I am Jim Davis, one half of WebDM. And yes, don't let the babyface fool you. It's still me, and I'm still here for some just from the heart, anachronistic Pendragon. This is easily top 3 must-have RPG experiences. I never thought I'd get a chance to play, so this is awesome, and I can't wait to get into it.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect.
He. I guess he is my pronoun. Thank you.
Yeah. No, that's good. Cool. So for those who don't know what this game is about, this game is not realistic fantasy Britain. This game is explicitly Arthurian fantasy over about 80 years of the entire adventure. We're going to be going from sort of like even before, the fall of kind of like Uther kind of stuff, right? All the way through the rise of Arthur and everything. So like it's about 80 years of adventure, which our characters will not be living 80 years. We'll be playing the knights as well as their children, their spouses, brothers if they perish. But this game is a game of dynasty as well as legacy. So I'm super excited about that. And I just want to bring up that we're doing a little bit of a different take on the source material. If you watched anything that Stephen Lumpkin did as far as Pendragon goes, a big change that I'm following suit is making this more modern. So women knights are accepted and equal as men in every other way. Non-binary as well. In this sort of world, you have knightly children and you have stewardly children, right? They're referred to as someone adept with the pen or the sword, right? And that sort of aptitude kind of reveals itself somewhere around age 5 or so, right? And the other modern adaptation that I'm really excited about is that I think we're going to be bisexual by default. This way you can have love of ladies or men as passions, and if you wanted to change that and stuff like that, we can work on it. It's fine. You don't have to follow suit. But I like that as the default, so then you can do a little bit more with the romance. So yeah, I think that works pretty well. And the only other thing about this game is that we will be kind of playing a lot to the tropes. This game is Arthurian melodrama, right? So you're not going to see some loners who are tough and cool. You're going to see people crying over the loss of their friends, and slain comrades and even rivals on the battlefield. Right, all that juicy emotions. This game runs on that. Yeah, so I won't talk about how this game actually works and all that stuff. Other than that, just a broad speaking, that's sort of the tone of the game. We're excited. We're ride or die for the whole thing. So we want to do this. We're gonna make characters today. And when you make a character, when you make a knight, you don't actually start kind of with your knight. If you want, you can actually start with sort of the history of your knights, and you're gonna start with your grandfather. And that will kind of help inform maybe your character when you're going to go make them. What do you say? Do you want to start with that first?
Oh, absolutely.
Awesome.
So many juicy tables to roll on.
This is table rolling simulator today,
yes.
Which is, for the 3 of us, that is the juiciest, best version of role playing we can ever do. Also, the only other thing is that by default, there are rules and things for supporting other characters of different like backgrounds. So you're not necessarily from Britain. You could be like from Aquitaine and etc., or even a Saxon. But this game, we're going by the book, regular old book, where you're assumed you're from Salsbury. It's assumed your Cymric background and you're either pagan or Christian for your religion. So just so you know, I'm aware there's other versions of it, but we're doing it this way, okay? So what's going to happen here is we start with your Salsbury family history, and for those playing along at home, that's about page I think 59 in the book, and basically your grandpa was born in 410 A.D. The last year Britain was part of the Roman Empire. All right. And what you're going to do is we're going to be chronicling the life and events of your great-grandfather here. And they're going to be accruing what is sort of going to be your life's value, which is your glory. Okay? And so we're going to be seeing how glorious their life was through this game. Okay?
Nice.
So it's pretty wild. All right?
Nice.
So...
Yes.
Do it.
Yeah. Okay. So your great grandfather will have died right before your grandfather was knighted. So at the time of his death, his glory was about 1,000 for being knighted. And now here's your first roll. Okay. 1d20, and you're gonna do 1d20 times 100, and that's gonna be the beginning of your glory. This is your great grandfather's life's work.
600.
Cool.
All right. That's how it's going to go, huh, Jim?
All right. So, your grandfather, where we begin, they begin with 1/10 of your father's glory. That's sort of how it goes forward. And then once you have that 1/10 marker, they also get an extra 2d20 for just sort of their own actions as being a knight and being young in the world. Okay. So this is like your family glory that gets passed on is only a 10th, right? And then you have a little bit of early knighthood.
19.
So
This is for our father. This is for our father.
No, this is for your grandfather.
Yep.
Right. So your great grandfather died shortly before your grandfather was knighted, and that's where that 1600 or 1300 comes from. That's their life, and of that glory, 10% transfers to their kid.
Okay. So,
right.
All right. Gotcha.
That's sort of like the legacy component, one of the legacy components. But for history, that's the only thing that matters.
Okay.
Right?
So like 1600 would go down to 160 plus 19. That's grandfather's glory.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was that 2d20?
Yeah.
Yeah,
that
awesome.
was 2d20.
Yeah. Also, I see people in chat. They're asking about what books we're all going to use. Other than what I was spoke about backgrounds, I'm going to probably be using a bunch of them. There is Book of the Manor, but there's a different book that I was looking at too. That's like a little bit better than Book of the Manor. It's not like Book of Warlords, but it's another one. Book of Feasts for absolutely. We're going to be playing a lot more with sort of the culture, religion, honor culture, feasts, where you are in a feast, fashion, the history, the reputation between your old knights. Because since we have a small cast of just 2 dedicated knights, there's going to be more NPCs, and we're going to flesh out our families a little bit more and have sort of that wider breadth of that interconnectivity that I think we all really want. So we can kind of drill in deeper than if we had multiple people on the show, where we have only go in a little bit for each character. We can kind of go a little bit deeper.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm excited to go into that sort of side of the stuff. Book of the Estate. Yeah, I think that's the one. So anyways,
I think I picked up like that big humble bundle that was just all the books. I'm never going to use all of them, but now I have them.
Right.
Pretty great.
It's a good set. Cool. So here we go. So for year 439, Saxons raid heavily, but they're driven off by the noble knights of Britain. Make a special note that this is the fact that your heir is going to be born this time, right?
Mm-hmm. So
the eldest, your father. Yeah.
Yep,
the eldest son of your grandfather. Year 439. All right. And then what you do is you're going to roll on the events table. So it's a d20. Generally, you do not want to roll a 1.
Fuck.
Oh my god, you literally died.
Oh no.
Okay,
well,
so
at least we get to roll on the miscellaneous cause of death.
Yes. Okay, so we have our first death. Jim, just hang on for a second.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay, so roll on the miscellaneous cause of death sidebar table here, Colin. It's a d20.
my father inherits 1/10 of
Yep.
of my 154 glory.
You're starting from the bottom, all right?
Oh my gosh. Okay. Okay.
So then you're going to proceed to 160.
4. Died in battle with a neighboring land.
Oh,
That's
can you make a note of that?
Yeah. Yeah. Grant G Dad
I need
died.
to. Yeah, let me get this open. That's some juicy stuff. Because you died in a neighboring land. That's going to be relevant.
Yeah, which is either the Picts, it could be the Welsh, or who's directly west of Salisbury, I forget.
Cornwall's to the south. So
Cornwall.
west, like it's like west south.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have the map open, but we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
But okay. So now what's gonna happen is that we're gonna continue with Jim. Colin. Colin, you come back in at the year 460.
Yeah. So
That's
G-Dad had 154 glory. Oh no, 1,154 because you get 1,000 for being
you get a when you're knighted, you do get 1,000. Yes.
So my grandfather had 1,154.
Yes.
Okay, that's marginally better.
Got to get knighted though.
Yeah, I hope he got knighted.
And as you can see, this will hold true for your character too. When you get knighted in game in the first session, you will also gain 1,000 glory and its benefits. Okay.
All right.
So
19 on that last one.
Yeah, that's awesome. You fought at the Battle of Carlion.
Hey.
So can you roll another d20 for me?
Yeah. Ooh. All right.
19. You survived. Fighting at the Battle of Carlion earns you glory as well. I just want to see if this would be the wrap up for you or not. Because like if you die gloriously, then you also get additional glory. So to calculate glory here, it's going to be 15 times 1d6.
All right, 15 times 1d6. This is for grandfather. 15.
Yep. This is your grandfather.
Okay.
Awesome.
And I believe you also get to roll to see if your grandfather got a passion for hating the Irish.
Yes.
Oh, nice.
Just like any good game.
Yeah.
Same thing as a d20.
D20.
Yeah.
15 for that one.
Oh, so close. Very close. 16 or 20 would have been a passion for hatred of the Irish. All right. So the rest of the years kind of follow the same suit here. So 440, d20.
Let's see.
In the year 440, King Constantine is murdered by one of his own guards, a Silchester knight. So a 5. You serve garrison duty. You are killed by Pictish raiders. Gain 20 glory.
All right.
Roll on the passion table though for us.
Yeah. 10.
A 10. No passion gained.
No passion.
Okay. And for the audience, there are a lot of really cool results in here that there's a reason for using random rolls. I mean, yeah, it's very possible his grandfather could have been one of Constantine's bodyguards.
Yes.
And if he died trying to protect Constance, that's great. But if he didn't, that's actually really bad.
Bad, yeah.
Right.
So a lot of the times you want your ancestor to have died really nicely. Yeah. Like in a good death. You don't want them surviving too long.
If you die gloriously, it's a free 1,000 glory.
Mm-hmm.
That's like 100. That's 100 extra glory your son gets to start with because you died.
That's nice.
Think about it that way. You're doing it for your kids. Okay.
do not consider this game like family planning. That this doesn't work this way in real life. You can't just go start fighting Saxons. It doesn't. No, I don't like that
for glory. Nope. Okay, cool. So they're dead too, right?
Oh, right.
And we know that they were killed by Pictish raiders, so the cause of death table isn't necessary.
Okay. So this died in garrison duty at 440.
440.
Okay, shut up, Google. Google is like I can search the web for killed by Pictish raiders. Shut up.
Come on.
Okay. Yes. So then we go to 460. This is your father's personal history where it begins. They start with 1,000 glory for being knighted, plus 1/10 the total current glory of their father, whether their father still lives or not. Well, your father knows neither of your father's fathers are living. So you all got your 1/10 scores from there?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool. Also, from this point forward, any further glory won by your grandfather does not accrue to your father, just so you know, but it's not that relevant.
It's
cool.
very difficult for Granddad
Right.
to survive to 460.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry.
So the year 460. Yeah. Go ahead and roll another d20. Don't roll a 1.
That's only if grandfather is.
Oh, that is
alive.
grandfather. My bad. No, because the 2d20 is father and grandfather served. Oh wait. So I guess
There's no effect though.
father served garrison duty with Saul. No. Yeah, there is no effect for that year. That's fine. All right then. We're just gonna roll again for 461. Another d20.
Okay.
This is the rule of King Vortigern.
Mm.
Ooh, 18.
18 spicy. Anything better than a 5 is really what you want. So it looks like both of you got an 18 or a 19, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. I'll read this. I'm gonna read this year out because it's kind of important, just for this everyone outside. So the 461, 462 is the rule of King Vortigern. They have proved unwise and very oppressive, often favoring his Saxon mercenaries and in-laws over his lawful subjects. Many nobles have spoke of rebellion, and when Vortigern's eldest son, by his first marriage, agrees to lead the nobles to general rebellion, finally breaks loose. The Earl of Salsbury is among the rebels, so your great liege or whatever is right among the rebels to fight in the Battle of Cambridge. So you all are fighting here against Vortigern at the Battle of Cambridge with those rolls. So could we?
Yes.
What? Yeah. No. I'm pretty sure I did that right. So before we roll glory, I'd roll another d20 to see the result of the Battle of Cambridge and your father's actions there.
Ooh.
No, that's good. That's actually good. I mean, it's bad, but also great. Wait.
Yes, this is grandfather. I think.
Why are we
think
still
your
in grandfather?
father-
My grandfather's.
It said no. It starts in year 460.
Right. So what this just means is there's no way for your father to have been at the Battle of Cambridge.
So why are they giving me these things of what? Okay, well, damn. Okay, never mind then. Well, that sucks.
I think you get railroaded through into because your 463 is like the funnel, right? We're talking about like
461, 462, 463 are exactly. No one survives 463.
Right, and so the idea I think is that your father can't have been present in these big moments because on 463, spoilers, the Saxons kill everyone.
Yes,
Sure.
the Knight of Long Knives.
The Knight of Long Knives sets the stage for the Uther period because it's why we have such a Saxon problem to begin with.
Yes.
It's Vortigern, this king brought in the Saxons to defeat a rival, and they won't leave now.
Yep. So there's a big old treachery. Then the Earl of Salsbury as well lay slain. This is definitely marked everywhere. The hatred of Saxons is kind of everywhere. But our grandfathers aren't around.
And I think 464 reveals why our father was not present in these other things, because our father wasn't married yet. And you don't want to risk your heir, right? If they're not married, if you don't have another heir in the backlog as
heir to spare.
So year 464. In this year, your father marries to procure an heir rather than for love. Womp. He is fortunate then that his own father was favored by the Earl. There are many heiresses. So let's see here. You got a 7. This is your bride's glory.
Mm-hmm. Bride's glory.
And this is added to your glory. Okay. That's a 25. Yes. And a 7 is 50. So real low there. The possible natural 20 is 350 glory there. So getting 25 and 50, not great.
Not that great.
So you're married
to our father's glory.
Yes. This is your father's glory score.
Yep. And this is also the year that our first characters, are born.
Yes.
After the Great Slaughter, the Night of Long Knives, there was a big pressure for like we need more kids quick because we just lost so many.
Yeah,
So
like an entire like generation is decimated. Yeah. So time to ramp up the night generators.
When am I guest starting?
Oh, we'll see.
You know what? I would love to like bring in guest stars to be my kid for like a session.
Yeah.
Like,
I will. Originally, I was like, well, if anyone else's like aunts or uncles or somebody in their family is around, that would also be great. Yeah, like this is what I'm talking about, as well as other banner knights, right?
mm-hmm.
Other fellow knights of that serve under Lord Salsbury, Earl or Roderick. Cool. So 465. I don't think anything happens particularly. Vertigern and his Saxons march back and forth from Britain. Many Britons flee. It's a bad
Merlin.
time.
It's the last days of Merlin from his perspective.
Yeah. Yes. Aurelius Ambrosius, a name that the son of a former king, Constantine. Well, remember Constantine, and his brother Constance lands in Hampshire with an army. So we are besieging a portion of Vortigern's host at Carlion.
Events.
Another D20 for us.
All right.
Whew.
Is this is a different Battle of Carlion, I guess?
Yes, this is the second Battle of Carlion. Some decades later.
Yeah. All right.
An 8 and a 7.
So we both served. How do we do? I survived.
So we were fighting at the battle.
4.
You barely survive.
Oof.
And then you roll a d6 for extra glory. So 30 glory there for 2 times 15. It's again 15 times 1d6. This shows you're sort of like how much you stood out in the battle, or your father stood out, right?
Clearly fighting for his life. It was nasty, I bet.
Undoubtedly.
Damn Saxons.
Right.
They're bouncing axes.
Yeah. just think of like, the heavy rain once bore into the breach, and we fill the wall with our English dead kind of situation. Right.
Against their iron indignation, we hurl ourselves.
Yeah. This is why I play with Colin.
Yeah, I don't have any of that kind of thing in me.
Yeah.
I
mean, Henry V is required watching if you want to play Pendragon, in my opinion.
It's
that and Excalibur are like definitely the 2 movies I think to watch.
I will admit, one of the reasons I'm so drawn to this game is I have a master's degree in literature with some focus on medieval literature. I wrote 2 of my papers on Arthurian stuff, and
Nice.
Oh, well, that's good.
I'm not using my degree for anything else, so I'm going to use it for that.
Mine was aristocratic court values in the Renaissance, so there you go. Kind of put that to work.
Ooh.
Where they were all getting all amped up about their romantic past.
That's
dying with a musket ball in their gut.
that's a mood. That's
Grant wants to be Parsifal and just show up pretty and lost. Okay.
Yeah. All right.
We have some time though before we get to the actual proper King Arthur.
Yeah.
But I'm there.
Grant, Adam, and Marcy. I want them to show up as Merlin in different periods of their life.
That would be amazing.
Yeah.
There's no time. Let's go. Yes, that's actually
Grant as the first time we meet Merlin, but for him it's the last time he sees us, and he's like, "Oh, my sweet children, look how young you are." It's like, dude, you're like 20.
Yeah, you're so yeah.
Oh, that is brilliant.
I love it.
All right. So this is an abbreviated 469 to 472. Many Saxons continue to invade the continent.
Did we skip Battle of Snowdon?
Did we? Oh, we did 460. I'm sorry.
468.
Yep. I saw the siege, and I thought it was the same. My bad.
Nope. There's just so much fighting.
Yeah, there's a lot of battles. Thank you. I did skip one. We have the Battle of Snowdon. This is Aurelius Ambrosius, and their army continuing to pursue Erdogan. A 3 isn't great.
Yeah.
That's, ooh.
Garrison duty. Poor
Double.
dad.
All right. Yep. Both of you both don't get to go on this battle. You all are standing in.
We won so little glory the last time. They probably were like, "You got to stay home."
You know what, dude? You're better at the baby making thing. Go do that. Go do that.
I mean, I really like the kind. You joked like we're starting from the bottom, but I'm getting the sense that our families, thus far, have not acquitted themselves particularly well.
No.
No.
It does not seem that way.
We are nobodies. And
We have a name to make for ourselves.
There are more distinguished. Yeah, there are more distinguished families for sure.
Certainly.
Yeah.
Right.
I hope if you roll up a family, they make them like at the top of everything.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Right.
That one family, the Joneses, we got to keep up with them.
That one kid who always raises their hand in class, for sure. Oh yeah, right.
You forgot to sign his homework.
Roderick's favorite. You forgot to sign his homework. The night. Yes, you got it. Yeah,
Good.
That's so good. Thank you. So, well, I guess I wasn't wrong skipping the Battle of Snowdon.
I'm glad I made a fuss about it.
y'all spent the year on garrison duty on the other side of Brittany, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. That works for us. Okay, so now 469 to 472. Right, many Saxons come over from the continent and settle in Kent under their king Hengist. High King Aurelius Ambrosius maintains an unsteady peace with these Saxons, Irishes, and Picts, despite all of their raiding. His younger brother Uther, that name sounds interesting, makes a name for himself as a great warrior, encountering these raids and leading the warriors and raids onto enemy territory. So let's see if you ever got to fight alongside Uther's armies in this time. Roll a d20.
Oh, yeah. The bare minimum of glory again.
All right. 16 is spicy. That's 200 glory.
Oh.
That's the most you could have gotten in fighting out here. So, yeah, you are fighting with Uther.
All right.
Colin.
No, not so much.
You're on the flank. You're on the flank expecting something else, and it just didn't really unfurl, and you just kind of had to, or you got lost in the fog.
Yep, went out roving, came back with like a barrel of wheat.
Yeah. The battle was over.
Such glory. Cool.
Hey guys, I heard there was a battle today. There was yesterday. Oh no,
I didn't see the shield wall.
Are we sure these are D20s? Yeah. Yeah, based on y'all's rolls, are you sure you're rolling a D20?
It could be D6.
Awesome. All right, next year, 473. The Saxons.
The Saxons, they're attacking.
Yes.
Saxons. Ooh.
Another D20.
That's a 20.
That's a 20.
Oh!
Garrison duty.
No!
Right. Colin's in the locker room while okay, Jim, your family is doing it. Your family's doing work. You fought at the Battle of Windsor.
All right. Windsor.
Yes.
How do you fare?
Windsor is hard. All right. Windsor is actually a battle that the king loses at.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
19. Awesome. So you're going to gain 30 times 1d6 times 0.5 glory. I'm sure there's an easier way of why. I don't know why it's not 15 times 1d6, but that's fine.
Bam.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
You survived, and you also gain hatred of Saxons as a passion for 2d6 plus 6.
Hatred.
So, like, lingering here a little bit, because this is going to be your character's father.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This is a story that your character will undoubtedly know. You got
when
a
you are
ton of glory.
Windsor.
Think about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're what? You were born. This is 73. You were born in what? 60. You're 13.
64.
13, probably a squire.
You're 17.
50. You're 17. You're already squiring. Yeah. Wow. You're not even home then, because you're probably squiring with a different family. And you hear, and like someone tells you get that letter about your dad being just an absolute like Captain America badass, and like that's awesome.
It's really
who
pride
delivered that?
And jealousy and all kinds.
You know
of
who
things.
delivered that letter? My
It was your dad. Yeah. Yeah, of course. course.
Maybe I was maybe that's where I was. Like if I was squiring with
You squiring with your dad?
maybe maybe it's just like in charge of the next generation.
Well, that makes perfect sense, right? Because like you would send squires to another family for you to because they figured out that there would be family bias in raising people, and that perhaps it would be best to learn different skills if you interned under a different family where there's more impartiality. So that that's so good though.
All right, so that was D6 times 30 times 1.5, like 1.5.
0.5.
0.5.
So it's halved. Which again, I don't know why it's not 15 times 1d6 times 1. It's literally the same thing.
That was like
So at this point, I'm kind of hoping that my dad coasts through on garrison duty for like the rest of these. I love the idea of like my family.
Your house words is don't start shit.
Our house words are okay. We'll do it. Like
good enough for government work.
9 to 5 every day. We'll show up. We will garrison the shit out of your castle. But that's it. We're the DMV family.
Oh yes.
We will guarantee we will show up to a garrison and we will leave a great glowing review.
Not get ahead of ourselves.
That's so good.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right.
I love it. I love it.
All
right. We got 474 and 476. This is another garrison duty year. Saxons of Kent roam and pillage the land, so y'all are hanging back. Because remember, the year before, King Ambrosius suffers a huge loss, right? That's what the Battle of Windsor was. Colin, you can't win, buddy.
I didn't even die on garrison duty.
You didn't. You have to roll miscellaneous. Colin, I would watch you play. I would totally watch you play Crusader Kings based on your luck, Colin.
I've tried Crusader Kings. It's like another language, but I would try it again if you walk me through that.
Let's do it.
All right. Natural causes.
Oh, that's so much worse.
I know. Old age or illness got you.
Gosh.
All right.
Gee willikers, I'm 475.
You can't win.
Dead. Nat causes.
Of a broken heart, not being involved in battles.
Yeah.
It could be. It wasn't suspicious because that's literally one of the things.
It's like this is the least traumatic death that a knight could have.
Jim, unfortunately, you survived, but there's nothing really sweet this year. You just served garrison duty and survived and gained 25 glory. There's no battles or rolls. Just a casual 25 glory.
Everybody needs a gap here.
All right, sorry, Colin. Again, you have to hit the showers.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm actually.
All right, 477 is another Saxon king. It's the Saxons for days, everybody. Ale, right? AE is ale. Ele? Uther? So it would be like, or eighth. Ele? Lands in the southern Britain with a large army. A 4. You died in garrison duty.
Maybe to the invasion.
You fought well. Well, that's okay. So 477 is the ending of our father's histories. This was Aurelius Ambrosius marches with his army to oppose the foe. So this new Saxon king, but they were reinforced at the last moment by Saxons from Kent. So maybe you're on garrison duty and you get overwhelmed by the reinforcements coming up or something.
Yeah.
Or the other way around, you're like holding off for the king. But it's not really like a great hold off because it's just $25. Yep, just steamrolled. 25. You died on garrison duty.
Ignoble death.
Yeah.
And this, again, to like linger here a little bit, because these are formative moments. Like, doing the math, my father dies with he's 32. I think I did my math right.
Yeah. This is why the 80-year history thing, you're going to be playing multiple characters.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So my father dies at 32, right as the Saxon raiding is like really getting started. And so my character is too young to be like a proper knight, and lives through the Saxons going ham on the countryside, and coming from a family that isn't even known for resisting the Saxons. This is all, I'm sort of speaking out loud because this is all going to eventually be systemized in my character's personality traits and like the knowing how they comport themselves and what they want. I think I'm starting to see a character who is perhaps tragically hungry to rectify the relative obscurity of his family.
Yeah. You will be the one who changes the tapestry of fate.
Yeah, let the family name die with my father and be born anew in May. I think my character has a real contempt for his dad. That's gonna be fun.
Oh yeah, for playing it cool, for keeping it casual.
Yeah,
because it didn't serve him well in life. He's still
This has just been in my lap, by the way, audience.
Oh, you're revealing it.
Yeah, I did it by accident, and now.
Well, now this is the first act. You have to use it by the end of the
game. Yeah, I'm gonna come in off left screen of Jim's.
Yeah. Right. So I think what I'll do is for the first session, then to keep it moving, I'll sort of recap the next I don't know, like 12 years that y'all failed to get through because of the dice. But the game will begin. This was 477 when you died. The game actually begins in 485.
Okay.
All right.
We also have, if for other generators, like we can also generate the rest of the family.
Yes. Which I think would be fun to do.
Yeah.
Do you want to do character creation last? Like, do you want to also figure out like what? So we want to do the rest of your family. Do you want to do like your house's shield and stuff, and then your character and how they fit in that mold, or against that mold?
That makes sense because it's like you're narrowing down to our character.
Yeah. All right, I'm cool with that.
Yeah,
all right then. So then I think you got to roll your living family, right? So this is page 69 of the book. Yeah, Nidian will definitely show up. Oh man, bringing Nidian on as a character as sort of reviving those old characters would be really fun from my Pendragon game. Well, Stevens, but yeah. Okay, so here you go. So what's going to happen here is it's possible that you have older knights in your family. Let's see.
Yep, and these are like grandfather's siblings.
Yes.
Okay.
Unsurprisingly.
Younger brother. This is a D20 roll. Pretty much all D20s.
All D20s.
So got
also younger brother. If you would have rolled a 16 or better, it would have been your grandfather's illegitimate brother.
Oh. Grandfather's younger brother.
Yeah.
Then we got some middle-aged knights. This is all really good for me to do because these people are gonna get a little bit more fleshed out in my brain. And I'll be workshopping with y'all if there's anything you're like, nah, that doesn't sound right, kind of stuff. But
yeah.
So we just have like one great.
But these people will be showing up in scenes, causing entanglements if you're playing
I think we have to roll to see how many of each we get.
Right, I was looking for that. I thought there was like a.
It's in the character generation part. That's why.
Oh, I'm like, okay.
The layout on this is not the best.
Well, I think we're doing it backwards. That's fine.
Probably. That.
You're right. You know, I think you're right. Yeah, it tells you the number of extra people somewhere.
You know what? I'm actually gonna hop to my Discord because, as I said, I ran up.
Family characteristics, additional belongings, horses, coat of arms. Number of features, that's your distinctive feature skills. Oh, come on, where are you? You should be... Oh, there it is. I found it.
Okay.
Determine your family's knights by rolling as follows, then enter the number on the character sheet. You ready?
Yeah.
So 1d6 minus 5 for old knights.
So you got to roll a 6 to have
an
older knight.
Yeah, none for me.
Nope.
Nope.
Almost for me.
Middle-aged knights is 1d6 minus 2.
3.
So you have 1.
I have 2.
This is d6 minus 2.
Oh yeah, I got 1. Okay.
And then young knights is 1d6. Let's just do that, then we jump to the other part of the book. So Colin got 2, and Jim, you got 3.
Yep.
Okay, so 2 and 2.
Not bad.
Nice.
Okay,
Yeah.
there we go.
These are also for the audience. These are useful to draw from if my character dies.
Yes, this is your your troop.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Now,
there's, like,
now we
cousins,
see.
uncles, that kind of thing.
Okay, so our previous old knight rolls don't matter because none of us actually had any old knights. So we're just gonna roll our middle-aged knights, which I think one of us got, right? Both of us have one.
I have 1, yeah.
I have 2. I have
Right.
7 and 13. So I have my father's younger brother. And
Of course.
my mother's brother.
Okay. Oh my!
Looks like we've got a bastard.
Your mother's illegitimate brother. Ooh.
Mm.
Oh, this is like when your father was out getting that dope glory.
Mm-hmm.
That's not all he was getting, apparently.
Oof.
They are addressed as uncle. That is rich.
Nice.
That is going to be a source for conflict.
Yeah, so it's my it's my mother's illegitimate child. Nice. Okay.
So
It's like contemporary with me, like sort of like a peer of mine. Not peer as social status, but like age group.
Dude, these
no,
are
they
your
would be older.
fathers.
Old.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is your illegitimate uncle.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly.
This is my grandmother's.
And exactly.
Gotcha.
And because you exist.
Yes.
Well, I mean, as an illegitimate, that means they don't really inherit at all, anyways.
Yeah.
Well, it depends if they're. I don't know. I guess asking Sir Roderick. I don't know.
Yeah, there's
to be
ways
like written into
legitimize,
it.
you know?
Yeah, there's ways.
Yeah.
But it means inheritance. Inheritance wise, like because though there's a kid, then the inheritance doesn't go laterally. It keeps going vertically. But you know, we're not playing Crusader Kings. We're playing this game.
Nice. All right. So
Okay.
Younger. I got a illegitimate younger brother,
Okay.
and 11.
Is this what your dad was doing on Garrison Duty?
Yes. Oh yeah. I think my character hated his dad. I was being charitable that he was like just doing. I think he asked for garrison duty. I think he was a negligent knight, and certainly I think that's how my character is going to act. Whether that's true or not, whether my father was negligent or simply unfortunate, my character considers him a negligent.
That's
So I've
tasty.
got
Yeah.
bastard younger brother.
You can see it splitting after the Battle of Snowdon because it's like maybe something happened with their their two fathers where something to my character's father to your character's father, they just took it 2 different ways. Like, whereas he says, "Okay, all right, no, this is for I can do this, I can win it," and then he shows himself at with Uther, whereas
Yeah, just brought it too.
yeah.
Like those are good rolls.
found something in the battle that inspired him, as opposed to whatever happened to old.
Yeah, this is gonna eat me too. Like what did happen? And I think I'm not looking for an answer yet. As a player, I think my character.
We'll play to find out.
The thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to know the real story of the Battle of Snowdon.
Yeah.
What happened before Snowdon? I know I got a brother now. He's younger.
Ugh,
So he was
so good.
and he was born after me. So like, oh man, my mother won't tell me anything about this. And then what's the other thing I got? I got 11, so that's like first cousin.
I mean, I don't think you have to answer this yet, but I think then the relationship between you and your older illegitimate brother is going to be pretty complex, right? Right, it wasn't older. It was older, right, or younger? Oh, he's younger.
Younger.
Okay.
Paternal first cousin, so that would be my father's brother's kid. Yes.
What'd you pick? 11. What'd you roll? Your first cousin, paternal.
A paternal first cousin, yeah.
Yeah, that would be your father's brother's son.
Okay. and I rolled it, and that is one of my other knights. So I got two reliable, I think,
You got
family
two in the
knights, and
stable.
then I've got this, and then I've got the bastard.
Yeah,
I'm great. I'm gonna be played by
that's good.
Sean Bean. It's fine.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
What it was same one, say 3d20 for my younger knights.
You have three, yeah.
Yeah. 10, 5, 7.
First cousin for the 10, a younger brother, and two younger brothers.
2 younger brothers.
Nice.
Awesome.
Sure. Lots of people looking up to.
Yeah.
Lots of young knights looking up to this guy. I don't know their names yet.
No, me neither.
This guy.
There was
guy.
a list of names in character creation, but there's also just like, you know, whatever you think would kind of fit that you want. The one thing I would say is that I don't think we're gonna start with titles of any kind. You know, like no like
honorifics or anything.
the honorifics. Yeah,
Yeah, I don't think we've.
I think
earned
you're
that.
too. You haven't earned anything like that. No.
Yeah, that's fine. Gotta have something to do for the game.
Yeah. Maybe as a joke among you all, but like no one in any serious power would ever call you, you know, the brave or whatever.
Oh, sure.
No,
No, not yet. Not.
they just say my family name with a question mark. That's
Got something to prove.
yeah. Oh, the Berwicks.
Hmm.
Do we want to actually do that part? Do you want to see where you're from? What manor?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then characters as well, and then do our coat of arms.
Let's
Yeah.
do it.
Okay.
Do we roll that, or
it is a D20. I just have to find the page for it.
right?
It's because we're like doing this super out of order.
Oh, let me get
I'm
there.
in the wrong spot of it. Here it is. All right. Colin got a 17. Your manor is Winterborn Gunnet. I have
I even got one of those awkwardly long names too, don't I?
I wish I should have a Roll20 screen for next week. I just don't have it prepared for now, so I can't show you all where it is. But it is in the book. Winterborn Gunnet is northeast of Sarum, which is sort of the big city, and a little bit north of Figsbury. Everyone's favorite Figsbury.
Oh yeah.
You're kind of like you're a pit stop between Sarum and Allington.
I am almost important to the road east.
Yeah. So,
I'm not. Like Python and Duplain are the important ones.
Yes.
But I'm almost important to the road east.
you keep it casual, okay? You don't want that import.
Right?
No. You have the premierest garrison duty training facilities. The
Yeah.
comfiest goose down pillows.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Okay.
Our sigil is just a pillow that you bring with you, so when you sit down on garrison duty, it's like super comfortable.
And Jim.
Uh,
Jim, you
yes.
rolled a 5, which is
Yes, I did.
Cholderton.
Shoulderton.
Cholderton is north of Allington and a little bit north of Newton Tony. You all are actually off on this east side. Like,
Yeah.
it would kind of make sense that you all are friends. You're a little bit far away, but positionally, like, there's a main road kind of that goes through, kind of up through Allington and stuff. So it kind of makes sense.
There we go.
Yeah, we're on the same
Page is
river.
the map on in the book.
That's a great question.
Oh yeah.
I think it's near the front,
Somewhere. Yeah, I figured it'd be somewhere there in the back. I'll find it.
or maybe it's in the back in the land, chapter 3 and stuff with the land.
Mhm.
Castles, page 80.
Page 80.
That's cool. All right, and because I can't help myself, I also am stealing from the Song of Ice and Fire game here for a bit, and we're going to be doing some coat of arms generation. Right now, the way it's written is that, you know, here's some examples, color them in, have fun, but now we're rolling for it. We love our tables here.
Yes.
And so we get to design a shield and a coat of arms, okay? And this is going to be some complicated stuff. You're going to hear some... So anyone who doesn't know this already, shield language is its own language, okay? you're dealing with chiefs, fesses, dexters, the sinisters, the fields. Like we're the whole thing. Okay, there's a lot going on.
So much.
Yeah, but we will have them set up and ready to go for the next sessions, and I'll also be doing this stuff for the other random nights too, because I love this stuff.
Yeah.
This is what I live for. All right, so I do have handouts for y'all. But in the meantime, here, what's going to happen here is you're first going to roll for your colors, right? And so that's going to be a 2d6 roll.
Tincture.
Yep. And tinctures have common meanings with them, which will help you come up with your words. I assume we're going to do this before we come up with our words, because it kind of would make sense to work the other way around, right?
Yeah. 6.
All right, so you got a 5 and a 6. 5 is azure, or blue, right? Loyalty, truth, service. A 6 is purple. Justice, sovereignty, and dominion. Justice.
The friggin' irony.
Awesome. I don't think any of you got any medals. Why would you have a medal? I think medals come in later, actually.
We'll see.
If I remember this, I think medals come from another part of the rolls.
Let's see.
And you also got no furs? Question mark. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nope.
No furs.
Let's see. Knights are their colors. The easy way to distinguish a shield is by color. Kinds of colors in heraldry, tinctures, medals, and furs. When designing your coat of arms, just remember the 2 rules. You can never place a tincture on top of another tincture, and you can never place a medal on top of another medal. Very important. Thus, you can't have a green field with a red bar, or you can have a silver shield with a golden bar. So all of this stuff comes into play when I think when you get to the part about the designing and shape of the shield, if it's multicolored or not.
Yeah, I think this is also, we do have a little wiggle room as to what colors. It's just there are rules about which colors you can combine.
Yeah. Cool. I'm just looking for... Right, the ordinaries is the shape of the colors with the shield. Where it can be possibly multicolor. Because that's where you get subordinaries, and that's all of a sudden, like, of a different color, right?
The fun type.
Because that's when you get the bendy of a different color, right? That's when you get the pally. I'm telling you, shields are wild.
It's gonna be great.
Right? So step 2 of this process is the field, right?
Field, yeah. 76.
Yes.
7d6.
This is from the Green Ronin
Yes.
RPG? Okay. 33.
A field can be background. It can be solid or divided. If you're using a solid field, assign your tincture or metal to it, and then proceed to the next step. Divided, incorporate any other colors we generate.
Purple.
Right.
Down the center.
So this is the partition part of it. Colin got a 33, which is a purple. The field is divided into 3 lines to form a Y. So that means you're gonna have another. I feel like that means you have a different color, right?
I got solid.
No, I got 33, so purple, not purple. Shield divided down the center from chief to base.
Right. Oh, okay. There are some examples of what that means. There's an image of it, but I can't share it on screen for y'all, so I'm sorry about that. But yeah, so just imagine a giant Y.
Single color, so the...
Right. Well, what I'm saying then is the pall purple? Or is the base purple?
And yeah, I'm looking. Field describes the shield background as always a single color metal. Partitions. Many shields incorporate partitions to divide a single field into smaller fields. So it is a single color, but it's divided into 2 fields by a line.
Yeah. Tinctures, metal, and furs is the part.
Okay.
So how do you know when it's a fur or... So select and roll for another tincture or metal if desired. So I believe this is the Y is actually a tincture or metal.
Okay, and so I one's going to be purple and the other has to be metal because I can't do 2 tinctures.
Correct.
Okay, that makes sense. So that is, let's go with a metal. It's just 1d6. Yeah. 6.
Tinctures can't be on tinctures. Metals can't be on metals.
Yep. Oh. Purple and gold. Yeah.
Oh, cool. You got the purple and gold. So you have a purple shield with a golden Y?
This is so ostentatious for such a shitty
I
family.
know.
But this is why I make my character just so angry all the time. It's like, Dad did shit. Nothing. And like, we've got this awesome shield.
Yep.
Look at these. Yeah. And not to mention whatever your words will be.
Yeah. Words. We're bad at it.
Jim.
I got solid. That's what I got.
Yeah?
Simple, modest,
solid blue.
clean.
Just solid blue. Ultramarine blue.
Please get an omega symbol. Because we're I think there's also like the thing that sits on top of the shield now too, right? The charge, right?
The charge.
Yeah. Right, because obviously a charge is what you call what sits on top of it. And then you have to select the charge's attitude, which is rampant, salient, sejeant, statin, passant. These are all great words, okay? You know, because if it's rampant, then the body's, you know, is raised, standing on its rear left leg, etc., right? It's all super good. All right, so when determining which side of the charge features, roll a 1d6. On a 1 or 2, it affects the base or sinister. On a 3 or 4, it affects the chief or dex or both. Right, so we have to figure out what a heraldic line is. Charges. Let's see. 611 charge types.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a 3d6.
3d6.
3d6. All right.
That determines what type of charge you're rolling for.
12.
A 12 is ordinary. And a 10 is also ordinary.
Also ordinary. All right. And then that's on the next
That is
handout.
exactly what my family is. Very.
Yeah. Ordinaries are just like another type of pattern on your shield, right?
Yeah.
5d6.
Yeah. Ordinaries,
Sweet. Chevronel. Chevron with a thin line.
A
6.
gyron, a wedge-shaped charge. The point ends at the center of the field.
Cool.
We have examples that I'm going to look at because I can't.
A chevron. So a chevronel looks kind of like a sergeant symbol, right?
Yeah. I'm looking at it right there. So do we have?
so
And then does it
weird.
have? I guess
A color?
a tincture or a fur.
I guess so. Well, I guess yours could be a metal because you don't have another.
Or yeah, metal instead of a fur.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have to do a fur at this point. No, I could do another tincture because it would be on top of a metal, not on top of a tincture. I think. I don't know. I'm speaking with such authority.
What did you get? Colin, what did you roll? You got a Colin.
Gyron. It's like this weird triangle that's just hanging out in one corner, but it's not actually in the corner. It's like weird. Like,
it's like a right triangle in the right hand side of a shield.
So if the audience is like very confused about what this looks like, I have plans to. I'm actually gonna make some little pixel art tokens and stuff for these. And it will include what these things look like.
It's really just think of your classic geometry right hand triangle. It's just real
like
on the right hand side. Yeah.
Just like a notch.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think I'm gonna roll for a fur for that.
I'm cool with that.
I think it's more likely it's a change of pattern more than a 3d6. What did I get?
It's silver for my
12.
chevronel.
So blue and silver.
Oh, I don't have a fur. Never mind. So
Peace or serenity?
seven. All right, and that's going to be red. The gyron is going to be red. Red for military strength, noble sacrifice, warriors.
So you're purple, gold, and red.
Hi, I'm Sir Irony.
Oh god.
Well, it's really about justice and dominion. A little bit of military strength. God, that's great. Yep.
There you go.
Cool. You don't have anything else. Let's see here. Those are the fields. And those are the charges. So I think that's it.
Yeah.
Uh,
Good.
we don't get a sigil or anything? Did we already roll for that?
No, that's what your charge is.
Oh, okay.
If you would have rolled if you rolled a 5, you get a plant. If you rolled a 6 or a 7, you get an animal or a mythological creature.
Right.
17 or 18
Okay.
gives you objects. Otherwise, you got a subordinary or an ordinary.
Awesome. All right, that's
Cool.
simple. I like it.
Yeah.
Right. Subordinaries, that's where you get like the berries, horizontal extra shapes, and etc.
The wacky, crazy stuff.
I was looking for heraldic lines, and I don't think you get any of that stuff.
I thought we did that already. Because that was how I got... No, I don't know.
A heraldic line is a pattern line used in partition of an ordinary. Such a line is often conveys special significance. When applied to an ordinary, it can affect just one side. When determining which side of the charge features an heraldic line, I don't think it's necessary. We did the charge type. From there, roller choose specific expression of the charge from the indicated table. Yeah. Remember, the color of your charge must be metal if your field is a tincture, or a tincture if your field is a metal.
Yeah. Okay. I think that's it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Solid stuff.
What are now we have to come up with our house's words.
Oh.
Good
Is
stuff.
there a table for that?
Nope. That is that's on us.
Okay. I got mine.
I have a
got
couple
mine.
examples if you want.
So when the family was started, I think their words were meant to be an expression of their tenacity and their reliability. But the words have since become the punchline to the family name.
Mhm.
We remain.
Nice.
Right? It's like, oh yeah, like we'll survive, but now people are like, yeah, we'll remain on garrison duty. Like we'll remain behind.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's juicy. So we remain.
We remain is like that. I like that.
All right, Jim. Here are some examples. Right.
Mhm.
So from like Song of Ice and Fiery stuff is like, we do not sow. Ours is the fury. Some ones from the real world are like always prepared. Right. Neither rashly nor timidly. Be watchful by fidelity and valor. Courage against opposition. First and last in battle. Anything standing out to you?
Yeah, well, they all
Or your
do.
colors?
So,
Yeah.
they all do. So sort of, I think I'd like something that ties into color
Yeah.
and perhaps,
The meanings of them.
yeah. Let's see. I keep coming up. I've actually found a noble house motto
Generator. Perfect. Yeah. So you have
let's see.
blue
I think
shield and silver.
it's sort of truth, peace, loyalty. I like the steadfast and loyal because we're loyal. We're sort of like stick with Roderick, there by the king's side through all those years, even though it didn't perform that well.
Yeah.
We never let it get us discourage us. I think steadfast and loyal speaks to the noble house.
Mm-hmm.
And also has similar connotations to we remain.
And wait, did you use it in Latin? Or
No,
you said invigilus?
I could.
What did you
Oh.
ever vigilus?
I just said steadfast and loyal, but I will take it.
No, steadfast and loyal. Yeah, no, steadfast and loyal.
Yeah.
So we remain and steadfast and loyal. Wow, y'all are like super into this. Like, we don't do much, but we got your back, right? We're the hype team.
No. Everybody needs a good backfield.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Awesome.
I think of when we kind of cut our teeth was after the Night of Long Knives. So
Yeah.
I think it's sort of familial importance of like staying, like surviving.
Right. Yeah.
I've come up with a name for my father and myself. My father is Sir Hector, named after, of course, the Trojan warrior who killed Patroclus and was the peer of Achilles himself. Really lean into the irony of who this man was in his life. And my character is Sir Gareth. Gareth. The meaning behind the name is gentleness, and I'm telling you, he's not gonna live up to his days. He's gonna be a son of a bitch.
That's on brand. That's on brand for your characters.
I know. I'm gonna try not to have Le Musket Part 2, but
Sir Gareth. Well, not a sir yet, just Gareth, because you are.
Constanti Fidelic would be steadfast and loyal in Latin. I don't know why. I think I like that. Anyway.
So you're Gareth of Winterborn Gunnet.
Sir Gareth de Winterborn Gunnet.
And Cholderton. That's awesome. Yeah, everything's fine.
There you go.
It's all good. Are we ready to get into actually generating a character, or are there other things we should need to?
No, I think we do that. We can come up with our names for our extemporaneous people later.
Yeah.
I'm not that worried about it.
Mm-hmm.
You do have horses, but we'll worry about that later. Let's just do the rest of character
Right.
creation.
Well, we
as
have
is.
to roll up the horse's great grandfather.
Yeah.
The pedigree.
Yes. All right. Right. So you all you have your father's name. So let's do you're the firstborn son of your father. Sir Roderick, Earl of Salsbury, is your liege lord. You all have served the Earl of Salsbury, pretty much, as we heard, pretty much the whole time, in whichever capacity. Before it was Roderick, I think it was like Roderint. I think your grandfather fell with.
Yeah, and before that, it's like Rodrigo. This is sort of a one family name.
Yeah.
One name family, rather.
But I'm super, super loving this sort of like what happened at this Battle of Snowdon as sort of like this weird family past like thing. Okay.
Yeah.
This is good.
Yeah.
Same.
Okay.
There we go. Okay.
We have our current home. Your age is either 21 or 26. Excuse me, 21 through 26. If you pick an older age, then your other brothers may also be getting ready to be knighted.
I think I'm good with 21.
But otherwise, you just started. It's just kind of assumed you start at 21. I think it's probably fine just to start at 21. All right. Then we have traits and passions. So let's go ahead. New characters start play with only one value in 16 in a trait of your choice. It's also possible to have a hate of Saxons at 16 plus since it's 3d6. Where is that? That's not. We don't have to generate that yet, right?
Yeah. Let me look at where we're supposed to start. We've been jumping around.
I know it's page 35 is the page with traits and passions, right? Because after you do your age, so what's going to happen is, I guess we have to start our religious background.
Yeah, 33 I think is where we're supposed to start.
Yeah, that's the start of character creation. There's a list of names there from inspired by Le Morte Arthur. But the first things, but like I'm thinking like right now at this point, I think we're into the traits side of things, and we first have to determine our religious background. So you can either be Roman Christian, which has the following traits that are important to it: chaste, forgiving, merciful, modest, and temperate. British Christian, which is chaste, energetic, generous, modest, or temperate. Or pagan, which is generous, energetic, honest, lustful, and proud. You can always roll a d3.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna roll. I'm leaning towards British Christian, personally.
Yeah, that's not what I was.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go British Christian.
Okay.
I think given the history against the Saxons, it would be there's sort of a nothing approaching a nationalist sort of sensibility, but certainly a weird. They're different than us, kind of.
Sure.
Saxons.
Xenophobia is like super easy in this setting.
Oh, certainly.
Right.
All right.
Okay.
Okay. Cool. So those chaste, energetic, generous, modest, and temperate are your important traits.
Valorous always starts at 15.
Chaste.
And I believe the sum of the traits, so each, for the audience, each trait has a pair with it. So you have chaste versus lustful, energetic versus lazy. And so they zero sum, basically. And it really represents, it systemizes your character's internal life. I think for knights, we automatically have 15 valorous and 5 cowardly.
Yes.
Okay. So then, let's see. And what was the other? So for British Christian, that's chaste, energetic, and then
generous, modest, and temperate.
Yeah.
generous.
I'll post them in chat too, so they're there.
Gotcha.
Importantly, they are not merciful.
For real though.
The Roman Christians have a cultural emphasis on mercy. The British Christians, not so much.
No. Generosity.
Mm-hmm.
So again, Valorous starts at 15, and then those following 6 traits, 5 traits, 1, 2, 3, 6, begin at 13. All the remaining begin at 10.
Except for our famous trait. This is one of the big sort of character choices we make. So in this system, we'll often be testing various traits. Like Eric might say, you know what? Test your merciful. Is your character going to be merciful? We don't always have that choice. Our famous important part is if any value is 16 or higher, it is something that will absolutely need to be. Like anything below 16, Eric can test. But Eric is really supposed to push our buttons on our famous trait if it's 16 or higher.
That is,
Gotcha.
Yep. That is the thing that, so it's kind of like a double-edged sword, where that is the thing you are most known for, and so acting against it is very hard for you.
I like that. All right.
Do I need to go over the different types of traits, or?
Let's see. I mean, they all seem pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah.
I feel like I missed one somewhere, but I guess not. Chaste, energetic, generous, modest, temperate, valorous.
And this is, how do I express in this trait a character who is like driven? I think reckless. I think it's hard for my guy to say no. Right? Dad said no to so many opportunities.
Reckless, energetic would also work. Energetic is the sort of test I would ask you to do on a road where it's like, do you want to actually, like, that's the, no, you're it's really hot, it's the summer, you're all gonna relax now.
Yep.
Right? Or
all right, so I'm making medieval Alexander Hamilton, like nonstop.
You know, that was legitimately my touchstone for Cernidian, so that's yeah, it's a good one. I'm excited for it.
Yep. So I am Sir Gareth the Energetic.
Yeah, you were ready. Okay. Cool. Jim, are you still thinking about stuff?
Let's see. Yeah, I'm just kind of looking. So, oh well, no, I lost my character sheet. There it is. I think the only thing, everything raised. I've got all of them raised to 13 except for the Valorous, or the ones that are
Valorous is 15.
List.
Yeah.
Valorous is 15. I don't think I have any. I mean, unless there's other adjustments I can make, I think I'm good.
Yeah. What is your famous trait?
Oh, so pick one that's above 16.
No,
Yeah,
you get
pick
to
one
set
and-
one to 16.
Set one. To
Like
16.
imagine
Gotcha.
you're playing D&D and your DM's like 1 to 18, whatever you
Okay.
want, right?
Yeah, the book positions
So,
this
yeah.
as what you want your the blank to be. You are
Sure.
Sir So and So the blank.
Right. Because the concept here is going to be rolling it, and like the idea is that a 16 plus shows that means you are importantly that thing. Where
Yeah.
you're that's 15 is you're pretty good. 16 is like, wow, you're actually known for that. That is,
Sure.
you know, that is like classic. You know, being energetic is literally like classic Gareth.
Yeah. I think maybe. I don't know. I wanted, like, there's a part of me that thinks maybe modesty in a game where melodrama and extremity might be fun to balance.
Yeah.
Try to figure out a way, but at the same time, I don't want to put like a wet blanket on that kind of impulse.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that would be really cool. I think if you want to. No, I don't think that's a bad idea at all. In fact, that sort of conflict, especially when you have one night. So you all are going to be adventuring together.
Mm-hmm.
Gareth is desperate to make a name for himself, and you are like, hold on a second, like you're giving yourself too much credit. Like that's actually a pretty good like.
I kind of like that.
Grounds
Yeah, that's a good buddy cop system right there.
Yeah, right.
Because the opposite of modest is proud.
Sure.
Right. You don't brag. I brag. I'll brag all day, every day.
Just the facts. Yeah, I like that because it's sort of like you're drawing from his family's history. There's sort of like a modest. There's sort of modesty. It pays off as a kind of constancy, almost steadfast and loyal. And then it when the moment comes, is where your skill and steadfastness will be proven true.
You're Aaron Burr. I'm not standing still. I'm lying in wait. Oh, you're totally gonna shoot me. Come on.
Oh.
No, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know.
Sorry, spoilers to anyone who hasn't watched
or doesn't know American history.
Right. Or saw that one drink milk commercial in the 90s. That's the only way I know anything about Aaron Burr. That's a long way back. There you go.
Some deep cuts.
Yes.
Cool. Yeah. TV. Okay. The only thing else to be aware of, Jim, is that there's religious stats that we highlighted. If those ever get to all 16, or excuse me, they total over 80, is that right? I think, but I'm pretty sure it has to be over 16.
Religious.
You get an extra perk. Think of it like wearing like legendary gear. Like it's called like I think it's called a religious bonus or something.
Yep.
And when they're all over 15, it's when all those 6 stats are over that, you are like get super powered. I think you get extra glory and you're a little bit stronger.
Oh, sweet.
Can I say, for a book that is not super well laid out, the character sheet is surprisingly easy to use. I think it gives you basically everything you need right there.
Right. Some things to consider here going forward. Directed traits. Those are traits that we're going to be playing a lot with. Something that I see a lot of different Pendragon games do is they kind of ignore them, and I'm not going to. I think expect to pick up traits and lose traits as we play, just like you would stats. So like, if you start talking to somebody a lot of like, in like kind of like a crush kind of way, it's like, cool, take a more this person, right, as sort of like a distant kind of love affection that hasn't been totally received, or you haven't like physically moved on it, like to give that person like 2 or whatever. Cool. And you know what? Now that you didn't do that this year, you're talking to this fairy girl. Cool. You know what? That goes away, right? That kind of stuff, right?
I'm gonna get those smooches there.
Yeah, I know you are. And this is so I'm going to be playing up those things a lot, right? So they give you a couple examples like traits that you can develop as like, love of redheads, that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah. So is this where the hatred of Saxons goes?
Some of that stuff comes into, that's coming up.
So,
but those are passions.
Passions, gotcha.
But these are just general traits, which I think will be fun to play with the more we do. Like for example, If you like fail a couple, like, you know, some kind of horse riding kind of checks, then you might get a trait about horses or something, right? Or the other way around. If you're really good with horses or whatever, you know, you might have a fancy for a certain type of horse, right?
Gotcha.
So anytime around that horse for, like, you know, and then be fun. And then it plays into generous enough. Like, do you actually want to give away this cool horse? It all just kind of trickles away. Maybe that's a bad example, but like, that's kind of what I mean is that it's not just the stat, it's sort of the circumstances, and the same circumstances keep coming up, then other details of those circumstances begin to matter. And we'll know it when we see it in play.
Sort of zoom in and detail it as need be.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And
like
then if they stop coming up, then they atrophy, right? Because they're no longer important.
Oh man, I'm getting more and more excited.
Yeah. All right, so now let's talk about our passions, right? Number one passion for all knights is loyalty, right? And that is your lord above capital L Lord, right? You're king over God. You are literally ride or die for Colin's dad, garrison duty, then die, but ride or die for your liege. There's no going against your liege in this game. It is you do that no matter what they say. You could hate their guts, but you serve them. That's the truth. I won't play Roderick that way. I'm not saying like you all won't get mad at them for some decisions they make. They're a human being, right? Like they're like your boss. You know, sometimes you chafe under your boss, but at the same time, you know, that's the deal. So that we're not going to play Revolution. You're not changing the feudal system. You're making the best of what you can. This is a game that combines. You know, this is kind of like my pitch from my own mech Pendragon-y stuff, but like this is a game that rides that duality of you're expected to uphold a certain code of civility and these social responsibilities as a knight, while also doling out your violent responsibilities, right? Like you have to ride that balance, and they are kind of incompatible in the same way of like being a mouse and being like fighting weasels in Mouse Guard is incompatible, right? Standing up to an owl. Like the idea is that these two things are constantly in conflict, and that tension is what drives this game.
The one of my papers was about Gawain and the Green Knight, and my thesis was that Morgana Le Fay's court is meant to really emphasize the impossibility of being a knight. If it wasn't that being a knight was difficult, it's that it's impossible. You will fail.
Yes.
They're inherently contradictory ideals.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right. To be
gentleness and violence. Yeah.
Yep. And that is the juice, and I love it so much.
That was the first book I read on my thesis.
And
hope me, yes.
And
squeeze that juice,
right?
Yes.
Specifically, whatever truth you make of that situation, then you're also going to have moments with your kid who has to basically take up your sword and swear to the Earl or the new Earl or your brother or whatever. And they have their own different piece with how that interaction works and finding their truth in this system of complete opposites, right? And that's the joy of like, how do you impart that sort of lessons to your kids? Or like, you know, or your friends or your kin. Like it's so good. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. All right, so loyalty is a thing, right? You have loyalty for your lord at 15. That's a great value. Again, passions, just so you know, in game, these are things you can call upon in important roles, and I'm not going to let you all call upon these things without like reason, right? This is there's a reason you get like +5 or +10 to a roll for this check.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. Yeah. This is I like to jokingly call it going Super Saiyan, right? Like this is something that's so important because if you fail, you explode and you like cry and it's just brutal, right? So you can't just call upon your lord for no reason. I'm not going to let you do that. Like you're going to have to it's going to have to really make sense for this, okay?
So each of these starts at 15 and we have the option to add 3 points to add them up.
But in return, I just wanted to say real quick that in return though, expect more directed traits, right? Where that will also modify the game as we play. Right. Gotcha. Yeah. So like that's where I want to take this game.
Yes.
So I dumped my 3 bonus points into honor. I'm sorry. I'm cutting you off.
Loyalty is just loyalty of lord, love of family, hospitality, honor, and hatred of Saxons. Those are the starting traits.
These five.
Yeah.
I think,
but hate rolls. It's inherited passion of all Salsbury residents. You're in Salsbury.
Oh, okay. So,
Ancient Saxons.
yeah. So Jim is
You
getting
just didn't.
higher. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's getting a higher because he's inheriting. I just get a straight 3d6.
Right.
So I'm rolling what for the Saxons? I'm rolling what? 2d6 plus 6 plus 3d6.
No, you're just doing 2d6 plus 6.
No,
Gotcha.
that use its number. This number is instead of what's determined. You don't actually roll anything extra. Whatever you rolled in the past, that is your father.
I didn't actually roll it when I got it.
Well, then that's you do it now.
So that's 16.
Whew.
Wow.
I got a 10.
Okay. So that's
you're not even mad.
I think.
I mean, clearly my guy's hot about whatever happened. That
yeah. And by the way, we got about 30 minutes, so we should keep moving this. But it was so much fun. I'm sorry, this is super.
This is great.
Just in terms of the time, right? So again, your love of your family is just totally natural, not national, natural. Right, hospitality again, also a great trait. Yeah, honor is pretty important. I have to think about how that gets used in play specifically and how I want it to.
Yeah.
But I think they'll come up maybe a lot, maybe not. We'll have to see.
All right.
Really depends on how things happen and how audacious Colin gets on their rise. You know, that's some.
That's good. So it's
awesome.
the 13, and then you distribute 3 as you see fit. Got that right?
Yeah.
15, I thought.
15?
Yeah.
Okay. I think I was getting mixed up with the others.
Mm-hmm.
And then my hate is a whopping 26.
Wait, your hatred of Saxons is 26?
Right? Or is it?
No.
16.
It's 16.
Okay, it's not 10 plus the...
No, yeah, that's just the default number in there.
saying.
No. It's 16.
A lot.
So now what you're going to do is, did you add your 3? Your extra 3?
Yeah.
Where'd they go?
So I think I'm going to add them. I
Go
want to
all in on Saxon hate.
Yeah, right.
And
I actually think loyalty is going to be the one that I go in on.
To your lord? Yeah. Totally. Stalwart.
Although I can put them in distribute them in any.
Yeah, one. It doesn't have to be 3 into 1. It could be 1,
Sure.
by whatever. By the way, everyone watching, I will be sharing these things later. I will be sharing these as well as sort of like when I do the prep for the other knights in this area. Because again, remember we have the everyone's favorite Roderick's favorite study night. You forgot to assign us homework.
Yes.
Just the embodiment of that night.
Yeah. All right.
The one whose like grandfather died. Got the 1,000 glory that everyone knows.
All right, I'm good. I think
cool.
I'm going loyalty and hospitality.
All right, then we gotta do some loyalty. Oh, nice.
2-1.
That's good. This stuff's gonna happen. People, I think having more people visit us in the manors and stuff is gonna come into play, right? Especially as a smaller game. So I think this is important. Hospitality doesn't sound like a bad idea.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Now we're gonna do some attributes. So the major attributes in this game are size, dexterity, strength, constitution, and appearance. Normally people dump appearance. Don't dump appearance in this game in particular. That appearance is super important in the Book of Feasts. Probably not surprising anybody. That and fashion determines where like that, other reputation factors. Where your table is, how close are you to the actual salt is your quality of salt when you eat dinner, which is super important. All right, so you're gonna have 60 points. So everything starts at I think 8, and then you have 60 points. Is that right?
No, that's the minimum you have to spend.
Oh, that's just the minimum. Thank you. Well, you have 60 points to spend on all your stats. Okay. The maximum is 18. Maximum for Constitution is 21.
All right.
Okay. So just so you know, your size and strength should be probably a total of 21. That's a good, because your combination, unlike D&D, the way you attack and stuff and the damage you do is actually like an amalgamated stat of size and strength. And if you have at least a 21, then your damage with your weapons is 46. So that's kind of important.
That's sort of benchmark.
Yeah.
And it's just 60 straight buying up from 0?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So the book recommends that size 11, strength 10, con 8 as a minimum yields 31 more points to spend across everything else.
Hmm.
Size 11, 10,
Yeah.
and then 8.
Mhm.
Okay, I can see that. Let me see.
Remember, yeah. Size, your minimum must be 8.
Okay. And what is size factor? It's just it literally like how physically
Yeah,
big.
yeah. Like think of like a character creation slider, like how
Sure.
tall you get. That's literally size. Also, size isn't one that can increase obviously after the game. When you level up at the end of each year, when I say level up, I mean when you have glory and you attribute it and spend it on different things. One of your options to spend it on is stats, but you can upgrade your size.
Gotcha.
Your size does go up, if I recall correctly, if you have that Christian bonus or the religious bonus.
Mm.
Right? What I was telling you about? You actually do get bigger.
Really?
Like you just stand up straight.
I kind of like. All right. Let's see. So what's sort of a bench? What's sort of, I guess, what would be the average? What would you say?
Oh, again, the average was size 11, strength 10.
Okay, that was the average.
Yeah. Minimum con of 8. And then
if it helps,
31
so
more to
the
spend.
size has an actual like relative correlation to like weight.
Okay.
When you take size and strength together, it tells you how like are you kind of swole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here this might help you, okay? Here's how they're functionally related to the game based on their derived attributes. So that your combination of size and strength determines your damage. The size of your con and strength determines your healing rate, and you heal every Sunday. Size and dex determines your movement rate. Your con and size determines your hit points.
All right. Okay, I think I know what I want. So if I got a
This isn't D&D though. When you run the hit points at 0, that's when you go down. This is you go down a lot faster.
okay, I figured it would be pretty
Yeah.
pretty brutal.
Yes. And if you have a pretty high appearance, you get a number of features. But I'm pretty sure there's another book with better list of features, if I recall.
Better list. Okay.
There's a
then
better
I will
list.
mention I have a 16 in my appearance.
I mean, we can roll them now just in case that's not true, and I want it to be recorded. But
That's good.
Otherwise, we might have to audible that because I have to go look into different books. I don't want to go jump around in different source books to find it. But I'm pretty sure there's a book that talks about and changes the distinctive features from this to a little bit better, like more of a wider option than like certain stuff.
Okay, then let me. So I have 16, so I get 2 notable features. I'll roll that now.
16 appearance is solid.
3 and 2. Yeah, I want to be pretty boy. 3 and 2. Facial expression and body.
So it can be bright-eyed, proud, sneering, haughty, nice smile. I mean, nice smile makes sense. But I don't know.
Yeah.
You have a great laugh?
I like piercing look. Piercing glance. I think that energy, right? I'm energetic.
Yeah, that fire.
It's really hard for him to look at anything casually. He always looks like he's trying to murder something with his gaze. Like it's Anthony from Queer Eye, right? How his eyes, you can see the whites around always. It doesn't matter what he's looking at.
That's good.
I think that if I were to have someone play this character, it would be Anthony from Queer Eye.
Okay.
Nice.
Like he's got a good body and like piercing glance.
Yeah, and obviously your body was your other one, and do you have an idea for that, or just a solid body, nice physique?
Yeah, long
trapezoidal
shanks is what they'd say back then. He's got long shanks.
Yeah, you got the shanks. You look good doing a pull-up.
So I'm thinking for mine 13, 10, 13, 11, 15. This feels like a more balanced. I don't know if that's I don't really know.
Yeah,
what that
that's pretty good. Dexterity comes into play, specifically when it comes for like balancing and getting knocked around. You may have when you're hit with a pretty solid hit, you have to roll against your dex to see if you fall down. I feel like that's the most common time dexterity comes up. Colin, does that sound right? I feel like that's the most common time when I ever played this game. It comes up as what is your number for when you fall down?
Not for any like courtly stuff, like not make an ass of yourself when you're dancing or something like that.
Yeah, probably we're dancing as well, right? Quickness, agility, coordination.
Yeah,
that's fine. Dance is also its own skill, though. So
okay, I think I'll go with.
But I feel like
this and see how it goes.
I feel like the dexterity would, if you like failed a dance roll, I think it would be perfectly reasonable for me to ask for a dexterity check to just see how bad it goes, right?
How bad it goes, yeah.
Like that, like as a qualifier, right?
Yeah. Absolutely. So he's probably not the strongest or the.
Or if you had a bigger size, then it's obvious. Actually, it's your size is in the way. Then maybe there isn't a roll, but like not dexterity. You know, like there's reasons for why I would do it certain ways. Also keep in mind you are Kimric, so you gain a +3 bonus to your Constitution.
Oh, nice.
So good job, y'all. And then we have skills, right?
Skills, and then yes.
All right. So we're gonna keep this moving.
Yep.
See if this wants to post. So everyone starts with a certain set of skills.
Helpfully, the starting values are on the character sheet. I'm super friggin' happy they put that there.
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
What?
Awareness 5, boding 1.
If you put down Kimric as your thing, it does it.
Oh, I'm using a hand sheet. I'm sorry. I didn't even realize. I mean, I'm going to transfer it over.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah.
I was using the electronic one. Kimric CIM.
CYM. Yeah.
CYM.
RIC. Yep. Kimric Sons of Knights start with Awareness 5, boding 1. I'm just going to see if I can copy paste these.
Boding 1.
Please. There we go. I'm just going to dump them all there. But for people who are maybe just listening, it's Awareness 5, Boding 1, Compose 1, Courtesy 3, Dancing 2, Fairy Lore 1, Falconry 3, First Aid 10, Flirting 3, Folklore 2, Gaming 3, Heraldry 3, Hunting 2, Intrigue 3, Orate 3, Play the Harp 3, Read Latin 0, Recognize 3, Religion 2, Romance 2, Singing 2, Stewardship 2, Swimming 2, 22. In terms of like applicable skills, Stewardship comes up in the winter. That's like how your manor is doing, your ability to hold down the fort there. Intrigue is really sort of the skill for courtly stuff. Yeah. However, Recognize will probably be used more. If you are like actively doing stuff around court, Intrigue will be important. Recognizing is going to be used a lot more too. That's more like your perception socially.
We know who this person is.
Yeah, and specifically, Jim, the way I see Recognize being done is, this is what I was talking about a little bit earlier about, it's going to be more like an inspector's narrative control thing, where I'm going to look at a little bit of a history, I'm going to have a little bit of a table, I'm going to roll on and see what sort of event they were in, and then I'll tell you, like, you remember them publicly from this event, and you look at them fondly, or maybe I'll just say, or you have the choice of how you remember them as a good Recognize roll. At a low Recognize roll, it might be like, depending on how badly you whiffed it, it's like you recognize them, but you remember it poorly, right? Or you don't recognize them, and they recognize you. Like there'll be like a degree of things, right?
Mm-hmm. I like that.
Right.
Okay. So recognize 3. All right, and then I guess we have some points to distribute.
Yes. There's also a couple more combat skills, but I just wanted to get the basic skills down there too. You have Battle 10, Horsemanship 10, Sword 10, Lance 10, Spear 6, Dagger 5. Again, I'll post them in chat. Oh, okay. Apparently, it only wanted Dagger 5 there. Dagger 5 is also a great call sign.
Dagger 5, yeah. I love the number of skills.
It's a lot of skills.
Romance, singing.
Yep.
These are important skills to have.
They absolutely will be.
Yeah.
And tourney is its own separate jousting, I guess, is its own separate skill.
Jousting is a derived skill. Yeah.
From what?
Tourney.
Tourney
Joust
more,
is yeah. Sorry, what?
Is that more just like navigating and knowing the social graces of?
Mm-hmm. It's a little bit kind of like heraldry in that way, but also, yeah, tourney is its own thing. To tell you the truth, though, I don't know the specific ins and outs of that skill. I know. That was the specific skills and where they come in is going to be a little bit more of my homework for this week.
Mm.
But let me just find tourney. Tourney is a knowledge skill. Yeah, it's literally like tourney wise, right? It's the ability to know the correct procedures, where exit stage left kind of stuff, right? You know you're supposed to raise your lance first and do the things, right? All that stuff, right?
All that good stuff.
Following the forms, knowing your squire, like what your squire is supposed to do too, right? You know all the rules. Doesn't say you're good at it, but you know the rules.
Yeah. It's a armchair jouster.
Yeah. Glory can be gained with a good tourney skill, so that's good to know.
I think Squire might be my favorite skill in the game because it's, for the audience, it's a you roll it as though it's a skill, but all you're rolling is their age. You get a Squire at 15 and you lose them when they become 21. So your Squire gets better and better each year, and then boop, gone. And you have to find a new one who kind of sucks.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh man, my Squire is 20. They are the best. You literally can't fail a roll with a 20-year-old Squire. But it also means next year you need a new one.
It's dope. Lance is not the same as spear.
Yeah, Lance is horseback, spear is on foot.
Yeah.
Although
spear,
I think
Lance is
they're
derived.
the same. I think they're the same weapon, right? Like you just use different skills.
Yeah.
With the weapon when. Yeah.
At this point, yeah, they're the same weapon. Not that.
Cool.
That is all right. So then, yeah. How many? And so we have points to distribute between the rest of the skills.
Yeah, there's like a lot going on with skill choices.
Yeah.
So here's what happens. Yeah. Okay. So you're going to be able to raise some skills up. Just so you know, no skill or combat skill may ever be raised above 15. Okay? No stat may ever be raised above your character's standard racial limits. A size may never be increased after reaching 21, which is your age now. No trait may be raised above 19, and no passion may be raised above 20. I'll talk about augmenting skills and stuff later, but that's fine. Individual skills can be augmented by several steps shown below. So here's what happens, right? You're going to choose any one knightly skill that you excel at, and mark it 15, just like you excel at other things.
Mm.
So you get to choose one knightly skill. Sword is the recommended.
Yeah.
Sword for me, I think Gareth has been working with his sword since he was very young.
What sucks?
Like command.
Yeah,
that would be battle.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Knowledge of actual battle. Keep in mind, you're low on the totem pole. If you have a high battle, you're not going to be running stuff unless you're asking for it, right? Think of the St. Crispin's Day, you know, give me the van,
yes,
you know, like like that kind of stuff, right? That's what then sure, use your battle skill. But you got to fight for that, especially against the teacher's pet.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Right? Okay, cool. So
okay.
you're choose.
I'll think about it for a minute, but I'll let you know.
I'll tell you. Sword's probably pretty good.
Sword's probably pretty good to take just
for
survival.
Yeah, I think if you're thinking of advanced, like if you played this before, maybe your next night or something like that, maybe it would be different. But I think sword is a really solid choice here.
That sounds good.
Then you're going to choose 3 non-combat skills other than first aid and make them 10. What sucks is the character sheet on Roll20 doesn't tell you which of these skills are, but they're in the book listed as certain ways.
I'm telling you, print out a physical character sheet. It's all listed, grouped very. Like I said, that it's very well organized, and I really
got
like
it.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Like I'm going to transfer this all over to the digital, but I think starting it at least on paper is helpful for me.
Okay. Well, I don't have that, so.
So I think
Well.
So for Sir Gareth, I set at his sword is his main one. Then the 3 at 10,
Right.
boating, compose, and stewardship.
It doesn't tell. I'm looking at the character sheet. It doesn't tell you that. I'm looking at the one in the book. It doesn't tell you which ones are which.
Okay. Then you know what? It might have been in the Humble Bundle that I downloaded. Because you got their. They actually have several character sheets for the different ages.
Yeah, you're right. It's one of those ones. Okay. Yeah, but in 5.2 they don't have that anyways.
Okay.
But anyways, yeah, we're confusing poor Jim.
That's all right. Well, I also have those. I have some character sheets that got shared to me. I just don't know which, if it's late or early, that I would use.
We're early.
Early. Okay.
Yeah, we are early.
That's what I thought. But okay. All right. So these are the ones that are bold.
You have to ask Colin.
I'm sorry.
So we've got some of these skills that are in bold.
And you're looking for non-combat?
Knightly skills are in bold faces. What's this? Okay. Yeah. The non-combat, I guess, is otherwise. So let's go.
Yeah, anything that's not bolded.
I kind of, you know what? This seems like it might be fun, and I'm definitely going to take fairy lore as one of my 10.
Nice.
That just sounds like you could get into a lot of fun with that.
Mm-hmm.
Distaff is like what, running my mind just went blank. It's not like running like a bureau, right? It's not like like you're running a household or something like that.
That's stewardship.
That's stewardship. So what's distaff then?
Distaff?
Yeah.
I don't even have that.
That might be a later skill.
I've got it on the Roll20 sheet. That's where
I know what distaff means. I just don't know what it means in the context of this.
Yeah.
This game. Awareness, boating, compose, courtesy, dancing, fairy lore, falconry.
Distaff's not even in the book.
Yeah.
It might be from a previous edition.
Yeah. Oh well. All right.
I think this character sheet was made in like version 5.0 of the game and we're in 5.2.
Oh no.
All right. I'm gonna go with fairy lore, singing, and romance.
Real quick, we have the backup real quick. Jim, what was your appearance?
15.
15. You would gain 2 features. Can you roll 2d6s for me?
Yeah.
Yeah, you both are pretty handsome.
5.
A 4, a speech. You have a cool thing about your speech. And a 1, your hair. So you have something cool about your hair and cool about your speech.
Ooh. All right. So I think maybe the speech. Well, it shows singing as one of his non-combat. So maybe he just has a beautiful
solid voice.
Singing voice or something. I don't know. You just yeah, he's a solid. Yeah,
you have a musical voice.
Yeah, yeah. He's,
you know what? So you don't even need to change anything about how you talk when you're role playing, Jim.
Yeah,
just like have it.
Just your melodious voice.
There you go.
Serenade us, please.
I'm happy to do that. And then the other was one something with his hair. Maybe his hair. I don't know. He's a good. Good British Christian. Maybe it's longer than is fashionable in honor of like Samson or something like that. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's called the Nazarenes? That was the
style at the time.
Yeah.
Well, no, Samson was part of the Nazarenes, and that was literally one of their beliefs. As this. I don't know enough about the topic. Never mind.
Oh, it's okay. We have to keep moving. With skills.
Yeah.
All right, I'm good.
Well, there's more.
Oh.
I think we should just skip the advances for now. It's like very.
We'll talk about how it's done, and we can go from there. All right. Are we doing? Are you talking about the step 3 here of heightening your stats?
Yes, I think so.
Okay. Well, then we'll skip that part for a second. You're gonna add. I don't know about skipping actually, because like it depends on what you're doing for your other parts too here. So let's just do it. You're gonna heighten any 4 stats. You're gonna choose attributes, traits, passions, or skills. And this is going to be kind of like how the rest of the game works when you level up. You're going to be choosing. If you choose a skill, you're going to increase it by 5. If you're choosing an attribute, trait, or passion, you increase it by 1. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
And choose
So,
5.
Yeah, you have any heighten any 4 for advances. Okay. Skills go by 5. That can be combat or not. And remember, passions. Remember, skill or combat skill can't be over 15. No trait can be raised above 19. No passion can be raised over 20.
Okay.
All right.
I use that to heighten my horsemanship mostly. I dumped a lot into horsemanship. And then I just upgrade my statistics. That's basically it.
Mm-hmm.
And so
Sir Gareth wants to be the knight.
You could use like all 5 of them in skills, or sorry, all 4 of them in skills if you wanted.
Oh,
or is
yeah.
it like 1? Okay.
I can't wait.
The only like thing to keep in mind is you can't change your statistics after this. So
You can't change your size.
After this.
Yeah.
So if I bumped it up by 1, it's going to have multiplicative effects for like other stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what I did.
The largest size is 18, by the way. The minimum size is 8.
All right. And I might. All right. Okay. I've currently have it at 15 because that sounds.
Yeah, it sounds about right.
Fun. Yeah. All right. So that's 2 of my advances, and then I'll probably put the other 2 in skills.
Colin, I can't wait. You're making this character who's like super wants to go out and do all these things and is energetic, and I can't wait to make like Roderick and things like. No, we're gonna send someone else out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm
into your face.
Yeah, I'm a winterborn Gannet. Like that's what my family does. We remain.
Right. Exactly. Like literally, like I'm going to try to give you that Roderick as George Washington, and you are Hamilton. That you know what I mean. I need you here.
I'm not your son.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna try to give you some of that.
Marcy is gonna have to deal with me singing even more Hamilton now that it's in my mind.
Yeah.
All right.
No, seriously. Like as your glory goes up, though, expect to get better things, but don't think that limits you. Like if you were proud, you could totally ask to lead the van and stuff. Or if like you want to call on, if you're proud, then but you want to call on your passion or something like that, right? Totally do that stuff, right? Like my lord, I've loved you. I've served you longingly for three winters in this campaign. Give me the van. I won't fail you. That kind of stuff, right? Like do it. So like I'm super excited about that stuff. I want you, but so just don't be surprised when you don't get the best thing right away. But then fight to prove it, and then hope to your god that you don't fail. So, anyways, add 10 more points to any skills, and then all other skills start at the value listed under beginning values.
I would love if we could jump to additional belongings and family characteristics.
Yeah, we're definitely. Yeah, we can wrap this up. We're doing all that stuff.
So I think that's good for the audience. The skills we can handle.
Okay.
On screen.
Sure. Yeah. So we'll add 10 more, and again, I'll post this stuff before session 1, so we can all see that stuff. So then, we're gonna roll additional belongings now, right? That's the next one.
Yeah.
And then your family characteristic. Oh, we didn't. We should have done that with the stuff. That's fine. Okay.
Yeah.
I forgot that's a thing.
42.
It's a D20 result. There's D20. Yep. This is the equivalent. You could get a bunch of money. You get a horse.
Nice.
3. Yeah,
money.
Extra money.
3D20 plus 100 dineros.
And then 9 is...
So
that's like not even a Libra. That's fine.
It's not... It's
not... To give you an idea, conceptually, a year, your nightly manor makes about 6 Libra. 6 pounds.
Yep.
So like that's a kind of a pittance that Colin got.
Yeah, that's
additional belongings. Yep.
You remain.
And you rolled a 9, Jim.
Yeah.
That's an heirloom.
Oh.
You have an ancient bronze sword worth 2 librum. It's a modifier, a +1 modifier to a sword skill when used. It breaks in combat as if it was not a sword, though.
So in this system, if an enemy gets a crit against you, if it's a sword, you're disarmed. If it's any other weapon, it breaks.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So like sword versus axe is a thing. Yeah. This is also a little bit where Mouse Guard gets some of its stuff, by the way.
Cool.
Only because Luke loves Pendragon as much as we do.
It actually explains a lot about miseries and misfortunes.
Yeah. Right. So you have an ancient bronze sword. Oh, this is awesome. We'll have to figure out a little bit about this ancient bronze sword if it has a name.
Did it appear
Is it
before the battle?
It's a
Snowdon?
family heirloom.
It's a family heirloom, yeah. So it's
Like this has something to do with like your founding of your family, my guess.
It's gotta be, yeah. Perhaps it's like a spatha that you know.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? That's like kept from the Roman.
Literally the Roman, totally from the Roman times. Oh, that's amazing.
You break that one out, then there's absolutely a Saxon you gotta kill.
Absolutely.
Once it's unsheathed, it can't be sheathed unless it's blooded. Yeah.
Your family calls that the Roman price.
Ooh.
Right. This is good.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I'm sitting over there. It's like, my dad invested in this merchant.
Yeah.
It didn't do great, but it did all right.
And remember, this is your family heirloom. So, and I love how this is my favorite part about role-playing games, everybody. Family heirloom. Ancient bronze sword. $2. If you needed to sell it in a pinch, it's worth $2, but it's your heirloom, right?
Yep.
I'm sure your brothers won't mind you spending that for those $2.
Certainly not. Sell off their birthright.
Yeah, so you can go buy an apiary in the backyard to get some honey. It was a good investment.
So next up is family characteristics.
Another D20.
This is cool because this is the thing that will persist between every single one of our characters.
Yes.
Oh, cool.
This is
so long as
your
they're
house.
of this family, they get this bonus.
Yep. Of this lineage, this is your family characteristic.
6. Keen senses, awareness. That's actually
You both got the same thing.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
Sweet.
Right? Jim, you rolled a 5.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Keen senses.
All right. We're gonna fight crime. Done.
None of you. Guess so. There's so many good ones on this table, and you all have to roll the same thing.
Yeah.
One of us can re-roll if
At what cost?
At what cost? My money. I don't need that. Just take my family pittance.
Donate to the alms box.
Yeah, you want to do that? You want to sacrifice your money for a roll?
Yes.
Okay.
Did I roll the same
Excellent voice.
thing again? Oh.
Plus 10 singing.
Plus 10 singing. Oh, that's sweet. Okay. Excellent.
So you squandered your money for like singing lessons.
Nice.
I'm allowing you to do that. With the intention of this is a devil's bargain, that like this will probably come up at some point, right? As in like fine. Not at some point, but as in like kind of immediately.
Yeah.
Right.
Kind of immediately. All right.
It's like maybe you got dragged. Like I convinced her to drag
your brother.
Yeah, come on.
Your brother needed that money, right? Like you promised that money for something else, and it was spent. I don't know, something like that, right?
And you know what? I think my character was like, yeah, this is what my father left me. Fuck that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, that's awesome. Right. So you have Denari and Libra. Cool. So we've done our knights. We've done our army. You don't start as lords holding other knights as vassals.
Yep.
That totally comes up later.
I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah. We don't have to worry about our levy.
Not yet.
You basically get 100 peasants.
Nice.
And then remember, at each winter phase, your knights will receive glory, as well as notable traits and passions. But I think we're okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Then I think
Oh, yes.
you're good. So this means you all are still a squire at 21,
Mhm.
but we're going to be going into the knighting ceremony. And I mentioned this before too, that we're also going to be doing the wedding of Sir Roderick as earlier parts as well.
Yeah.
So I have a cool conundrum that I want to present to the party for it to kind of kick things off after you all do the sort of like tutorial mission, which is the stuff about getting knighted.
Sweet.
Learn the controls and how the camera works in the game, and then you know, that stuff.
That's great.
Set your mouse sensitivities, and then we'll play.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Well, then that is Pendragon character creation.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right,
I
I'm gonna
was
go with Erwin for my name.
Erwin. Ooh.
Erwin.
You
Sir
are
Erwin
Sir
de
Erwin.
Chadbury? Chattery?
Of Chattanooga.
Cholderton.
Cholderton.
Cholderton. We
Yeah,
were way off.
Those shoulders.
Those Choldertonites.
That's so good.
No, I am
Future
seriously
born.
excited to play this. This is.
I
I'm
was
just looking at the character sheet. It's like, oh my god, this game.
Yeah, right.
I was excited before we started, and now I'm going to torture Marzi with this frenetic excess of energy I have. I'm so
Oh, yeah.
ready to play. This is going to be great.
So yeah, going forward, y'all, this is for the players who kind of know this as well, but the audience, what I'm going to be doing is a typical session is going to look like an entire year of play, and we're gonna try to condense it in 2 hours. So we're gonna, in the springtime, we're kind of experiencing the feasts and dances, any sort of like judgment and stuff like that, births, marriages, funerals, all that kind of stuff. That's really like when you're doing the relationships, the allies, the intriguing, the romancing. The fall and the summer is sort of like the actual like meat adventure. If we're doing that, it may actually, the adventure end up being something tied to spring, right, or not. Occasionally that adventure and stuff gets overwritten by a great battle. And then winter is the estate management part, where we're siring children and managing the estate for the last part of the game, as well as going over like any sort of trait changes and extra benefits and experience. So
Sounds good.
yeah, it's gonna be fun. I imagine it's gonna be kind of sloppy at the start, making sure we get everything to the 2 hours, but then I feel like we're gonna get that nice rhythm, and it's gonna be like watching the best TV show you've ever seen. So
No doubt.
that's the goal, right?
Yes.
That's what I got laid out. All right. I will share this stuff online. I'll probably just post it on Twitter, the character sheets and all that, any extra things, as well as sort of give a little recap and maybe like a link to some stuff in the description notes in YouTube for people following along. But yeah, I'm so excited for this game. Pendragon is the best. So
Yes.
all right, outros. Colin, anything announcements?
Like I said, I am at Colin It Like I See. I'm one half of the Phantom Rule Booth, a creative firm between me and Marcy Balan. You can find me here on Mondays. On Thursdays, I run Symbarum over on Unmade Gaming. And you can buy an adventure of mine eventually, Eat the Rich Anthology, Volume 3, called A Minor Requiem. That's me. Jim.
Excellent. I am Jim Davis, one half of Web DM. You can find us over on YouTube and here on Twitch occasionally, playing some mostly D&D, but now something different. Something, I don't know. We'll see. But I am going to be at PAX Unplugged. So if you're in the neighborhood, come by and say hi, play some games. And yeah, that's about it for me.
Awesome. And there's me. Yeah, so in about an hour, I'm going to be over on Margaret Crone's channel, playing some 40k Wrath and Glory. That game's back. I'm super excited. But Pendragon, I'm also super excited. This is the weekly show, this time 4 to 6 Pacific, so 7 to 9 Eastern. Eat this, do this entirely weekly. And I will also be at PAX Unplugged. Yeah, other than that, follow any announcements or anything like that on Twitter. That's where I'm going to share the characters and all that kind of stuff, as well as the descriptions for YouTube. So, yep, stay tuned from there. Otherwise, we'll catch you all next time. So thank you all so much for hanging out. And thank you, Colin and Jim, for coming on board to this game and rolling up these characters and, putting yourself against the sea of troubles that are tables.
Let's do it.
Yeah, awesome.
Yes.
Okay, so seriously, thank you all so much, and we'll see you all next week. Right, so bye.